Hi, everybody. Welcome to our channel, Scientology Peeling the Onion. My name is Mark Fisher, and look who's back. It's Janice Gillum Grady, and we're here live.
G'day, everybody. I'm glad to be back. I've been gone, 4 weeks, Mark? Well, 4 weeks.
Yeah. It's been a while. It's been a while.
I'm glad to be back and in touch with everyone. And it's been a relaxing and fun experience being gone. I went on a cruise to Panama, in case anyone didn't know. I think, Mark, you've mentioned it several times on your chats with other people.
We'll get into that in just a minute. I just want to welcome everybody to the chat. Get in the chat. If you have questions, we'll answer them. We're going to be here for 45 minutes to an hour. And, we'll answer any questions you have on any subject. You can ask us about Scientology, anything that along with that, Janice's cruise. But we want to welcome everybody that's in the chat right now. And hopefully we'll have some more viewers. Janice, it's been a while since we did a live.
Yeah, it has been a while. So, yeah. We got to get back into things.
Get back into the groove. Anyway, like I said, just get into the chat. Just write word question. It makes it easiest for us to spot. And we'll start your questions and we'll put them up on the screen and we'll ask them. But I see a bunch of people are in the chat already, right?
Yep. Yes, I see that too.
YouTube watchers here. Good day, everyone. Good day to you.
Good day.
And anyway, we've got some other people in here too, some questions that are already started. So anyway, first thing I wanted to mention, Janice, is of course you went on a cruise. It was like a 3-week cruise, right?
Yeah, 21 days. That's a long time.
It's a long time.
Yeah, and nearly every second day we were at sea. I flew up to Seattle. And Paul's sisters live up in Yelm in Washington. So they drove to Seattle, picked me up at the airport, and we went and had a lunch together. And then they dropped me off at the wharf, and I went aboard. And the ship I sailed on was a Norwegian cruise line. It was the Encore. There she is. And I used to swear I'm never going on one of those big ships with all those thousands of passengers, but it wasn't that bad. I got a lot of exercise walking from my cabin forward all the way aft to go to the restaurant or to go to the gym or something like that. So I got a workout.
Yeah, it's Norwegian Cruise Lines. It's the Encore, and I looked it up. It's only 5 years old, so it's a new ship, and it holds 3,500 passengers and 1,500 crew members. So it's like 5,000 people, which is almost as many people that are in Scientology.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. And I'll tell you, there's times, even at the end of the cruise, I'm seeing people I've never seen before. It's like, oh, where have they been hiding? Or where have I been hiding? That, there was just so many people. It's like a little floating city.
So tell everybody about what was the ship like? Like, did you have a nice room? Did you have a balcony? That type of thing.
Yeah, because we were going through the Panama Canal, we specifically made sure we got a balcony. And our balcony was directly under the bridge. So we were forward and we got some good views going through the canal. And I'll talk about that later. But yeah, so I flew up to Seattle, had lunch with Paul's sisters, and then I found Cheryl, who's my travel buddy, and Tom and Sita, who are both from Las Vegas. They flew with me from Vegas up to Seattle.
And that's Cheryl right there with you, right?
Yeah, that's Cheryl with me. But Tom and Sita live only 10 minutes from me anyway. So we went up and kind of got oriented to the ship, and they have these phone packages. They give you 300 minutes. And if you don't turn off the internet, your 300 minutes can be burnt fast. So this time I was like, okay, I'm buying the full package. It cost me like $400 to have internet the whole time. And that didn't include being able to stream anything. So any attachments and things like that, I couldn't open and stream anything. But I then go to do some banking on the ship. going into my laptop, and I'm using the minutes that I purchased extra, which is unlimited. But you need a password that goes to my phone. Well, you can only use one thing at a time. So I'm like, I can't get the bank account to do payroll. So I'm like, I go down to the internet lady and I'm saying, can I get the 300 minutes that you give put to my phone? Oh no, because you pre-purchased the package before you came on the ship, you lost all your 300 minutes.
Oh gosh.
So we end up, I had going and I change all my codes to go to Cheryl's phone because she's got 300 minutes so that I can get in and do payroll. It was like having to come up with different solutions, you know.
Yeah, it's a real ripoff on a ship that they charge so much for Wi-Fi internet because they have Starlink, which is all over the world.
Yeah.
And literally they should just like I pay whatever I pay here for my house and I have unlimited internet. There should be a fee. You pay one fee and it's unlimited the whole trip. I mean, they just racking it up, the bill, the money.
Oh, they nickel and dime you so much. I mean, I don't drink soda or booze or anything like that. Well, I might have a drink here and there, but I don't drink any of that. So I don't get the soda package. But when I got aboard, I was like so thirsty. I was like, oh, Cheryl, we didn't order water for the cabin. So I asked the steward, can you bring down 2 cases of water? So it cost me $50 for 2 cases of water.
Oh my God.
And then they hit me with a tip for both cases of $10 each or a service fee. So I paid $70 for 2 cases of water.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Wow. Yeah, so it's not all inclusive. It's not all inclusive.
No. But the meals were very good, I must say. You go into the dining room and they give you fantastic service. And I ate so much bread before each meal. And then it's like this whole plate of, a big steak or roasted chicken or whatever. And you go through an appetizer, you go through an entree, and then even though you ate the bread, you eat dessert.
And then they come sing to you when they bring you your coffee and muffin, right?
Oh yeah, at breakfast time there was the coffee queens and the coffee team, and I don't drink coffee, so Cheryl would wait for them to come bring her coffee, or she'd get coffee and they'd come and refill it. But yeah, they'll come with little sugar donuts or apple turnovers or something like that, and coffee, and they sing to us. And I posted several of those on Facebook.
Yeah. Now, what foreign countries did you go to? You went down the west coast of the U.S., but then you hit Mexico.
Yeah, so we went Seattle, a day at sea, San Francisco, and I didn't go off in San Francisco, and we were only there for like 5 hours or something. And then we're day at sea.
Portland too, right?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, Seattle at sea, San Francisco at sea, Los Angeles. And someone said, oh, you should go to my dad's vitamin store in LA while we're in Los Angeles. I would not have had time to get through the traffic to get there and back before the ship sailed. So I'm like, no, I'm not going.
Pamela Crawford has a quick question. Can you bring your own water on board?
I guess you can, but it's like you bring in a suitcase and you can't, it's going to be hard bringing a case of water with you, but
what about your Listerine?
Not my Listerine. Cheryl's.
Tell people what that is.
Well, you're allowed to bring wine aboard. People pack wine and bring that
bottles
aboard.
Of wine, yeah.
Bottles of wine. So I think it was Cedar who told Cheryl, or anyway, Cheryl got the idea of buying a bottle of Listerine, which she poured into another bottle and rinsed it all out, and she filled it with whiskey. And so we'd joke about, them, Tom and Cedar and Cheryl would all have a happy hour sometimes in our cabin and drink the Listerine.
Smugglers.
Yeah. And they're like, shh, don't tell anyone. Anyway,
That's
I'm
funny.
innocent. I don't drink whiskey, so.
That's funny. So anyway, so you were saying you went from LA and then you went, where'd you go from there?
Yeah, so from LA, it was a day at sea, and then we went to Cabo. Again, I didn't go off because I've been to Cabo several times before. And, it's like, so I just hung out and went swimming. They had 2 pools, and there were saltwater pools. But I'd just go and swim some laps and hang out on the deck. And when people were ashore, it was nice up on the deck because there weren't a lot of people. But when we were at sea, the deck was just packed with people up there frying away, getting so burnt. So anyway, so we went to Cabo, and we went to Puerto Vallarta, where we did our first excursion.
Mm-hmm.
And that I called the hike to hell. It's like, we paid to do this. This is insane. But it was a hike, and we would have a barbecue lunch afterwards. And we get taken in a luxury bus to a bus with no windows, and we're told, you don't want to go from a cold bus out into the humidity and go hiking. So we're adjusting to the weather in this open air bus. And then we go for like a mile hike through the slums. And we think, oh no, it's along a river, and we're like, oh, okay, this is all right. And then we're like, it mentioned there was a hill, and we're like, we haven't hit any hills yet. And then we get to this point where he's like, okay, should we take this way where it's flat, or should we go up this way? And we're like, well, we could go up this way. Oh my God. We were all dripping and sweating. Tom and I got further than Cedar and Cheryl. The bus came behind and picked them up, and other people that we were leaving behind as we're hiking up this hill. But I don't know how long we were hiking. And the shade was, you might find a twig hanging out over the road from the jungle that's all around you. And you'd stand under this twig thinking you're getting some shade, Anyway, we got to another point where everyone had stopped by this point. There was like about 25 of us. Anyway, the bus then caught up to us, and Tom and I like, should we keep going? Should we get on the bus? Then we finally like, to hell with it, get on the bus. And we were like, anyway, really? And then it drove us to this nice little hotel resort that had a swimming pool, and they fed us a big barbecue, and it was an open bar. And of course, I don't usually drink, but I did have a pina colada. And
that's the photograph I think that we have on the thumbnail.
No, that's later. That was in a different port.
Oh, okay.
That was Panama.
Okay.
Yeah, where I was drinking the pina colada. That was Panama. Anyway, so it was a nice, relaxing. And I asked her. The guy had been bragging about guacamole and how they have so many avocados, in Mexico. So Cheryl and I, let's have some guacamole with our food. So I special ordered it. $18 later, I've got this huge plate of guacamole that Cheryl and I are supposed to share, and we're offering it around to other people. There was just so much, and it was probably the best guacamole I've ever had.
Wow. Okay, so you went Puerto Vallarta, then you went to what coast down to Central America too?
No, yeah, and we went to Acapulco, and we watched the cliff divers in Acapulco, and then we went down to Costa Rica, and Cheryl and I did a tour in Costa Rica up to the Maya ruins, and while we were up at the Maya ruins, some of the local Mayas were up there doing a ceremony. And so I I was photographing that, and I watched these other Maya women off to the side barbecuing. So I went over there and had my photo taken with them, which they seem to like that. People usually just kind of take a photograph and keep going on. But I went over and kind of acknowledged them, and they liked that. And I always ask permission to take photos, of these locals, because I know there was one point where I was walking by, I've forgotten what port I was in, and they had a beautiful display of different things to sell, pillowcases and dolls and stuff like that. And I took a photo, and when I looked at the photo, it's like the woman's got a pillowcase over her head. So anyway, so we went to Costa Rica, and then we went to Guatemala, and we went ashore and did an excursion there. And
then you went to Panama.
And then we went to Panama. Now there's a day at sea between each of,
right.
Mexico to Costa Rica to Guatemala to Panama. We went to Panama City, and that was, it meant something to me because I had sailed under the Panama flag and the laws of Panama for maybe 7 years on the Apollo. I was on the Apollo for 8 years, but 7 of those we flew the Panamanian flag. So it was kind of cool. I don't know if it's cool, but it was like a memory of fun for me to walk into town and see the Panamanian flag. And I was like, boy, that is so familiar,
Yeah.
And then when I went back aboard, because at Panama was the only port we had to carry a passport. The rest you didn't. And so coming back, I made sure I got stamped in, and there I was, finally a Panamanian stamp in my passport. So that was kind of, to me, that was cool. Maybe to know what anyone else know. But it's just different. It was kind of, I don't know what it did for me, but it did something.
Cool. Was it interesting going through the lock system, going through the canal?
Yeah, so after Panama City, we went to the old town and walked around there. And let me talk about this, because we went to the point where the French embassy is, and there was this huge monument with a rooster on top. And the rooster was for faith and hope. And the monument around there had different plaques and stories and stuff. And it was a monument built for the French, for the first 3 Frenchmen who tried and failed to put a canal there. And I'm like, okay, this is a first. Someone gets a monument for failure. Anyway, I guess it was a nice acknowledgement. And then it also acknowledged the guy who found that yellow fever was caused by mosquito bites. So anyway, after Panama City, we sailed into the Panama Canal. And we had to wait till the morning to low tide, because there's a bridge called the Americas Bridge, and it goes over the 2 sides of Panama. And it needed to be low tide so that the ship wouldn't hit the bridge, because the ship was so big. Anyway, so we went under there. And when I was 10 years old, going from Australia to England on a ship, we went through the old locks, and those were still there and in operation, going both ways. But to the south of those old locks were the new locks, which had 3 big tanks to each lock to flow the water, so that it saved them water doing this. And it was interesting looking through over the side at the locks. It looks like you're looking at it, and then it looks like the next lock you're going to is smaller because it sticks out. And it's an optical illusion, because it goes down about 30 feet to the next level, which makes it look like that lower level is sticking out further. And you're like, how can the ship fit in there when that's sticking out like that? And you look next to the next lock, and that's even smaller looking. But it's just optical illusion.
Right.
Because of the distance going downwards. So it was kind of cool as an adult watching, the water flow in and the water flow out. And the ship, this ship probably had maybe 3 feet on either side of it to going through the locks, and tugboats were sitting there at the aft end of the ship. They weren't tied up or anything. They were just there to kind of, if anything went wrong, they could nudge us back into position.
So let me ask you a quick question.
Yeah.
How long would it take in each lock to to drain the water or refill? Was it fast, or did it take an hour or two, or how?
No, well, I didn't time it, but it took quite a while because it was, a big drop.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, go ahead. Then you went to Colombia, right?
Yeah. Then we went. Well, yeah, we sailed from the first set of locks. You then sail through the lake, and then you get to the end locks, and that takes you down to the Caribbean side. And so then from there we sailed down to Colombia to Cartagena, and going off the ship there, you go out of the dock, and it was birds. The macaws, they were just these colorful birds, they're huge. And they're all just sitting there on these railings, fences that have been built for them, or there's just fences with little bird feeders and everything. And I mean, they were just incredible and beautiful. And it was just a nice greeting kind of thing too. It's like, oh, wow, we're in Colombia. And my ex-brother-in-law, he's since passed away. He came from Colombia. And my dog sitter who was watching my house is his brother, and he's from Colombia. So anyway, the traffic there is atrocious. It's just bumper to bumper and horns going and smog and everything like that. But you get away from the dock over to the old town, and there you go through the fort, and they had monkeys and sloth and iguanas, and all in certain parks in the town. So that was kind of cool. And we did a hop on, hop off bus to be able to go around and just see things faster. And then when we came back to the dock, you got to go back through the birds. And there was this little monkey who was showing off and rolling over for us. And he'd go in the trash and pull out a bottle, and he'd undo the lid on the bottle. Anyway, he ran into where all the birds were and just sent them flying. They were like, what? Anyway, he was just being mischievous and cute. So
let me interrupt just for 1 second here. Okay. Peggy Scott asks, is this going to be about the trip the whole show? No, it's not. We're at the end here. We've got questions, and anybody who wants to ask a question, you can ask a question in the chat, and we're just wrapping up because Janice went on her little trip and we're almost done.
Yeah. Anyway, so then from Cartagena, we went to Grand Cayman. I stayed aboard because that's just a sandbar, and I've been there before. And then we sailed to Miami. I stayed over for 1 day and hung out with Louise Schechter and Jill Gleason, and then came home.
Yep, and we're glad that you're back. You came back and it was cold here.
Yes, I wore, on the plane, I wore a sweater so that I could be ready to get off in the cold.
Okay, great. Well, we're going to go ahead and get started. We've got quite a few questions already started.
Okay.
If you've got a question you'd like to ask, just ask us anything in the, just write question or whatever, and we'll start. And I'll start popping them up, Janice, and we will go from there. Okay. So I'm just going to pop these up. I'm going to put I have glasses now because I'm getting old, so that I can read these things. So please bear with me. Elizabeth says, Mark and Janice, what are your favorite places to travel to and recommend to friends and family? Janice?
Oh, yeah. Gee, I don't know my favorite place. I mean, I really enjoyed Greece. I enjoyed Italy. I enjoy just going to these different countries. Moscow, I enjoyed that. I'm going to go to Scotland and Ireland. I'm planning that for 2025 in September. If there's anyone out there that wants to join me and a group of friends, then let me know. Email me. Mark will put my email up, because it'll be a chance of a lifetime.
Absolutely. I like to go to Hawaii.
Hawaii's fun. Yeah.
And I like Japan and I like Europe. Those are great places as well. So anyway, thanks for that question, Elizabeth. We'll go to the next one here. Is from YouTube watcher Janice. How did you like Panama and the tropical weather?
I don't have a problem with it. There was Cheryl has a problem with heat, so she always tried to stay inside. Me, I could stand I don't have a problem with standing in the sun and the humidity. I guess living in Vegas for 33 years, I'm used to the heat, but I prefer dry heat to the humidity.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. I don't like sweating. I don't mind the dry heat, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Thanks for that question. Next one is from Educon. Mark and Janice, what's your favorite cult documentary that does not feature Scientology? Oh, I like there was one on Netflix about the Rajneeshs up
That's
in
the one I
Oregon.
liked. Yeah.
And I forget, it was something
Wild
country or wild country, something like that.
Yes. Yeah.
But that one was really interesting. I watched
Yes.
that and I was like, oh my God, you got to see this thing. Did you going to say something?
Same thing. I couldn't remember the name, but yeah, that was it. I liked that.
If anybody knows the exact name, please put it in the chat and we'll pop it up.
Yeah, he collected watches.
He also collected Rolls Royces, and they took over a whole town. They took over a whole town in Oregon. I mean, they were much bigger in terms of what we did in, Clearwater or whatever. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks for that question. Like another one, Mark and Janice, what's your favorite cult document? Oh wait, I asked that one already.
You just did that.
You guys asked it. I know. Got asked twice. Sorry about that. Next question is here from YouTube watcher question. Did Janice go through the Panama Canal locks or the new ones, the old or the new? Yeah, you already answered.
I went through the new ones. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for that question. Elizabeth, I saw on ASI interview with Janice. Hold on, I'm going to put these on because I can't read. I saw an ASL interview with Janice and Mike Laws, but his mic was not working, so I don't know his background. Did you work with him? How did you promote helping ex-Scientologists? Glad you enjoyed South Africa.
Well, Mike Laws used to work in Religious Technology Center. He went there, I guess he was about 18, but he was from Australia and Melbourne.
Wasn't he born into Scientology, like his family, or no? Or did he get in very young?
Oh, he got in very young. Yeah, his parents were in, and that's how he got in. And and he ended up in the Sea Org in Sydney. And from there, he then, came to the US and ended up in Religious Technology Center. And he was the data director or something like that. And we used to talk a little while we were in the Sea Org, but we weren't close friends. But after we both left, we became very good friends. And this was the first trip I've taken with a group of people that he hadn't been on. He and his girlfriend Tracy have always been with us. He went to Greece with me, and he went to Morocco and Portugal and Spain, and
And I knew Mike when he was in a Religious Technology Center. I knew him. He was really young. He was like 18, 19 years old.
Yeah.
And he was the reports officer for RTC. And then when the reorganization and Miscavige took over and all that, he was not there anymore. I think he was demoted or sent to PAC or something. But anyway, he was in Scientology a long time after that. He got out of the Sea Org and he was in Dallas, I think, Texas.
Well, his wife became pregnant, so they were sent out to a small and failing org. So they ended up in Dallas. That's how he ended up in Texas. And they had a couple of kids while at the org, and then he got in trouble for something. Anyway, they ended up out. His marriage broke up. He actually became homeless, and he was in Texas, and he was sitting in his car trying to figure out what to do with his life. He was living in his car, and that's when he thought of, maybe I can do a business of recycling oil and salvaging oil and going to oil spills and salvaging that and recycling it. And he did that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he turned himself into a multimillionaire doing this. And now he's sold the business, and now he's doing things to help. He's always been involved in helping ex-Scientologists. He helped Marty when he left, and Rinder, and he helped a lot of people when they left.
Yeah.
And he still has a passion for that. And he actually has extra rooms in his house that he puts people up when they leave. John Brousseau stayed with him. Debbie Cook stayed with him. So it's like he's been very instrumental on helping people get back on their feet over the years.
That's right. That's right. And he's a good friend for us.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for that question. Next question is YouTube watcher question. How did the Norwegian cruise line compare to the Free Winds?
Well, I must say the Free Winds was small compared to this cruise ship. And it's very old, where this ship is very modern. And the storms that we sailed through, the Free Winds would have been rocking and rolling. And this ship was so big and probably had stabilizers, but it was so big it hardly rolled. But there was times you could feel it when we went through a couple of the storms and the waves pounding on the hull. But the Free Winds, the Apollo would have been like bobbing like a cork.
Thanks for that question, YouTube watcher. I got Peggy Scott here. Any info on what celebrities attended last month's UK celebration? That's for the International Association of Scientologists. I actually don't have any information on that. I can reach out to Apostate Alex and see if he's heard anything. I know apparently Tom Cruise was there. I know that, but I don't know if anybody else knows that.
Yeah, I have no information. I was at sea, so I don't know what happened.
Yeah. Anyway, thanks for that question, Peggy. Well, let me see here. I did that one already. Sorry about that. Oh, this is a good one. Elizabeth, wishing you both a great Thanksgiving in a few weeks. I recall a picture of Janice's famous roast turkey with bacon. I assume that's on the menu again?
Thank you for reminding me that I better go get some bacon.
I take it that's going to be on the menu then?
Yeah, yes, it will be on the menu.
Yeah, it's good too. I took a picture of it last year and I posted it and stuff. It's pretty delicious the way you do it. Anyway, thanks, Elizabeth. We appreciate that. YouTube watchers got another question. LRH broke through the wall of fire in 67. Does that mean he had completed OT3 then, or he started after? Does it make sense he was still auditing BTs later through his life? Janice, do you know?
Yeah, I think that's when he started on it, or auditing it. He then made a breakthrough, but yeah, he continued to audit BTs the rest of his life.
Exactly.
All those years.
Thanks for that question. And YouTube watchers got another question for Mark. Did you ever meet LRH? What was your perception of him when you were in the Sea Org? Like a divine being, reincarnated extraterrestrial, or a human genius? I never met him personally. I corresponded with him when he was in hiding up at Creston and all that. We would send dispatches back and forth, and you would get handwritten answers sometimes. But other than that, I never met him. But I was a true believer, so I thought he was, could walk on water, to be honest with you. And it wasn't until later that I discovered that that was not really the case. Janice?
Mark, did you ever hear any of his dictations or his messages that came down with his voice?
No, the comm center and the comm center. No, the only thing I did hear when he wrote the lyrics for like some songs and stuff. I heard, the thank you for listening, but other than that, and then of course the RJs, the RJs that he did the recordings. Yeah. But no, I never heard them.
Okay.
Anyway, I'm going to just so people know a future video that I'm going to be doing. In 1981-82, Hubbard came back. He started communicating again with everybody at the Gilman Hot Springs location. And the idea was to get the legal all clear so he could come back and do his movie projects and his audio projects and this and that. So I'm going to do a couple of different videos. One's going to be on setting up his spaces, because he had offices all over that property at Gilman Hot Springs, and we also built a music studio. So I'm gonna go over that, and then in the second one, I'm going to talk about how we set up the different production equipment, like musical equipment and audio equipment and video equipment and all that stuff, because it all had to be set up in a specific way. So I'm going to be doing 2 videos on that here in the near future with some photographs and stuff. So hopefully you guys will come to our channel.
And then somewhere in there, Mark might let me slip in talking about being so disaffected I was busted to hunting gophers on the golf course and riding around on the lawnmower, and then even being declared and offloaded. So he might let me slip that in somewhere.
Yeah. I certainly will. Next question is from Elizabeth. After almost 1.5 years of interviews and talking to friends who left Scientology, what stories surprised you or you find the most shocking? Do you have Scientology questions that you're trying to better understand? Let me answer this first. I was shocked by, I wasn't on the Apollo, but I was shocked by Danielle Chamberlain the first time when we did that story about her on the Apollo as a kid, unattended, no parents, no nothing. And then, what happened to her abuse wise and stuff. I was shocked by that because I had no knowledge of anything like that. And then the most shocking to me, of course, was Scott Campbell and what happened to him. And we did a series of about 4 or 5 videos, and he told his whole story about being locked up on the free winds and having to, not escape, but basically they kept him prisoner while they were trying to quote unquote handle his psychosis. And it was shocking to me. How about you, Janice?
I was the frog in the pot of water as it was the heat was slowly turned up. So there was nothing shocking to me. I mean, it was like,
no, well, any of our interviews shocking to you, or like you were surprised by?
No, because that's what my environment was.
Okay. I just was shocked by some of the stories of what happened to some people. That's all.
Well, no, I've known many of these stories, but I've seen Hubbard's crazy behavior. I've seen him do things to people. I've had things done to me. It's like, so nothing shocked me. Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Let's go to the next question here. Is Office of Special Affairs. Hey, thank you for the super chat. Good day, everybody. And I think the person is kidding. They're not really the Office of Special Affairs. If so, keep sending those donations. We really appreciate it.
Well, I do know Office of Special Affairs does watch our show, and we are referred to as the Onion.
Yeah, we're watching. Yeah. You're on the Onion, aren't you?
Yeah, exactly. Don't go on the Onion.
That's one thing about our show. I've talked to, I've interviewed people like when Janice was gone on her cruise and stuff, is that our channel, you viewers may notice that we don't get involved in a lot of the drama that's going on the internet and all that. We just tell stories. We try and tell the history of what happened, because a lot of those stories have never been told publicly. And also some of these people we're interviewing, they're getting up there. Anton Phillips is what, 94? You're muted. Okay. Anyway, so we try and tell the stories, and then we also give our opinions about stuff that's going on in Scientology and all that sort of thing. But anyway, if OSA wants to watch, we're happy to have them watch, because they'll learn some of the things, because a lot of the people that were around when Hubbard was around are no longer in Scientology. So a lot of these young kids, they've never heard these stories. So anyway, so please do watch us. So we really appreciate it. And Janice's dogs are going crazy, which is okay. All right. Next question is from ex-witness Vernon. Question: Janice, did you pass Nicaragua and Costa Rica? I was born in Nicaragua.
Well, we went to Costa Rica, but not Nicaragua.
Okay. Well, welcome. Thanks for watching, Vernon. Next question is from ex-witness Vernon again. Question, Mark and Janice, did Elleray speak Spanish?
Not really. He spoke a few words, but he couldn't put a full sentence together. He just knew a few words. I remember when we were in Tangier in Morocco, he would try and speak to the maid, the Fatima, in very, very broken Spanish, but he spoke more than I did.
Thanks for that question, Vernon. Let's see here. We've got another one from him. And question, Janice, is Mike's cancer worsening? Have you spoken to him, Mike Rinder?
Yeah, it's not my position to say things, but he needs all the love and affection people can flow his way.
Prayers, yeah.
Yeah.
But thank you for asking. We appreciate that. All right, next question is from ex-witness Vernon. Mark, how's your mom? What does she think about you losing weight? Oh, thank you very much. My mom is doing fine. She's 94 years old now, and I just saw her today, and she's living her life. She's getting old, but she's still in relatively good health. And I told her, I said, Mom, you're going to be around to be 100 at the rate you're going. So she's doing good. And then as far as my weight loss goes, that brings up, I did a video. This is a picture that I did in the video while you were gone, Janice. That was me last January doing it, January 2024. And then after I did that picture about a week and a half ago, and I lost 50 pounds at that point. I've now lost almost 50 pounds. And so, yeah, go ahead.
I want to point out 50 pounds, as Mark put on Facebook, is the equivalent of a 50-pound bag of potatoes.
That's right.
That's absolutely amazing.
I know. I'm shocked. I'm shocked, to be honest with you, because like most people, as we get older, we battle it out with our weight. And one of the things Janice and I were talking, I told her about, was that as soon as we left the Sea Org in 1990, and I was 32 years old, within the first 6 months, here in Las Vegas, I gained 35 pounds like that. I don't know about Janice, but I did, because all of a sudden we're eating at buffets and, we have unlimited, we can do what we want. We're not, and I packed it on like immediately. And it's taken a long time. And then, of course, I slowly, went up and up and up. And this is the first time that it's effectively, I've been able to lose weight and not be hungry. And I'm really pretty amazed about it. And I'm going to continue. I'd like to lose another 25. I feel great. All of my numbers are good. All my blood sugar numbers and A1C and all that stuff is now in the normal range. And to me, it's like a miracle. It's like, I just don't feel like eating. I make myself eat twice a day, but that's it. I feel full all the time. Anyway, do you have anything you want to say, Janice?
Well, yeah, I want to say I did put on weight when I left the Sea Org. I put on 60 pounds because I was pregnant. and because we ate at the buffets.
That's right. That's funny. Anyway, thanks for asking about that. But yeah, so we've got that video you can watch if anybody's interested in how I've been losing weight. We've got it on our channel here on Peeling the Onion, and also on my Las Vegas Travel and More channel. So thanks for asking, Vernon. Next question, Janice, do you think your mom was a master of ARC or just a very charismatic and radiating person by herself without the tech?
She has always been charismatic, always. With or without the tech, there was something always special about her. And, I was talking to Jeff Levin just before I left on the cruise, because I'm trying to find someone that will I've got a pilot written up based off my books. And I'm trying to find someone that will take that project on. And I sent it to Jeff because he said, send it to me and let me see what I can do. Well, then he called me. He said, what you need to do is you need to write your mother's story. And I will be the producer. And let's get that going. Because she was charismatic. And yeah, Scientology helped her. But she was already that way. And
Her story would be very interesting, Janice. It would be really interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I've got now, that's another project I now have to get onto. So.
Hey, listen, everybody, I wanted to mention something because we're getting on here. We've been pushing connection rather than disconnection. And there's been some recent talk about, maybe some of the Scientology orgs are pushing, oh, stay in touch with your family and all that. But we've been pushing that for a while. We want people to stay connected and not disconnected. So I just want to let people know we've got merchandise on our merchandise store. We have some new items. I just want to show them real quickly. This is a cloth tote bag that you can take groceries in or whatever you like on there. And it's got our connection logo with the heart with 2 arrows pointing in towards the heart. And these are gifts that you can actually send to people, maybe family members or friends still in Scientology. It doesn't have anything to do. It doesn't say anything that we're anti or anything like that, but it just lets them know that you care. And this is, we're doing a Christmas discount that I'm going to tell you about in just 1 second. I also we have sweatshirts now because it's cold in 3 different colors, and then also hoodies as well. So if you're interested in any of that, in the description of the video, you can go down there and go to our merchandise store and you can order these things. And for Christmas, we're going to do a 10% discount on all of our merchandise on our merchandise store. And the promo code is Christmas. And there's a link in the description of our video. Just click on that. You can order it and you get an automatic 10% discount on any of the merchandise on our store. So I just wanted to mention that quickly because it's a great time of year with the holidays and Thanksgiving and all that where you're missing people. But as Janice mentioned, she kept in touch with her father and other friends by sending them birthday cards, Christmas cards, things like that. So, right, it's really important, right, Janice?
Very, very important, because you've got to make sure people inside know that you're there, whether they need you or not. They know you're there. So when that time comes that they think, I'm not happy, where do I go? I've got no friends out there. If I contact someone I knew and they're already declared an SP, there goes my eternity. But just them knowing that you care always helps the people that are in there. So when they do get that desperate time, they know they can come to you. It's just like, I was able to contact my dad and I just stayed in touch with him. I didn't hear back from him, but he then came to get my ethics in for speaking out. And that's when we turned things around and we got him out. But it's good just to stay in touch. And when Annie was still alive, every Christmas and every birthday, I'd send her a card. Heber, I did the same thing with Heber, by the way. October 31st was his birthday, and I still haven't found what home he is in, but he is in a elderly home. And it's sad. It is sad. But we have had a lot of wins as well. I've had people tell me, even people we've had interviewed, people are like, oh my God, there he is. He looks great. I'd heard he was ill, but there he was now on our show. And then they're like contacting each other. And we even had a father and a daughter who was separated by Scientology. They reunited and had a very happy ending to that. So stay in touch or get in touch.
That's right. And like I said, it's the holiday season. The merchandise is there. Send it. It's a good way to reach out to people. So anyway, just wanted to mention that. We're going to run through some questions here real quick. Ex-witness Vernon, Mark, since you're taking Wegovy, would you be able to eat a lot on this cruise ships? Yeah, actually, I'm not doing Wegovy. It's called Manjaro, but it's a similar medication. But no, I would not be able to, and I wouldn't have any interest in it. Like for instance, as soon as we're done with the show, I'm going to make myself eat a small meal, but I'm not hungry right now. I actually probably could go till tomorrow and not have to eat. But your desire goes away from like wanting to eat meals or eat big meals, and that's one of the reasons why you're losing weight is because you're just not eating as much. And so anyway, but I would have a hard time on a cruise ship because I just wouldn't feel like eating.
Well, talking about cruise ships, I put on 5 pounds, maybe more. I haven't dared get on a scale since I got back. But
you did go to the gym on the trip, right?
I did go to the gym, but that at that gym, the weights and the rowing and everything else just did not outdo the ice cream every day that I ate, and the dessert I ate every day. So, yeah, I'm back at the gym.
Yeah, and ice cream is the killer for me. I mean, and like I said in the video, I just eat this little ice cream sandwiches, and 150 calories, and that totally handles my desire for ice cream right now. So anyway. All right, great. Next question, YouTube watcher question. When LRH continued auditing BTs, was he trying to blow his own BTs or just clear low-tone thetans in the environment? What would you say? I mean, the way that OT3 went, he was trying to get rid of the BTs on his body, right, Janice?
Yeah, that's what I figure. I have heard of people doing it to other people, trying to run OT3 and on other people who were sick. So, but I never heard of LRH trying to specifically do that.
Yeah, good question. Next question. One love, 5,100, well, 51,000. Hey, good to see you here again. Thank you for the question. Mark, do you have any friends or family left in Scientology? And if so, have they talked to you lately? You look fabulous, by the way. Well, thank you very much. My ex-wife is still in Scientology, still in the Sea Org. I have not heard from her. She's remarried. And, but other than that, my sister was still in Scientology, but she passed away 10 years ago. And that's all I have as far as family goes. How about you, Janice? Do you still have any family that are still connected in Scientology?
No, well, Heber, my stepfather, Heber Gents. Right. Yeah. And because I'm not blood, they won't let me do a welfare check. I've already checked into that. But anyway.
Okay. Thanks for that question. And then we've got a question here from Lovett. Hey, Lovett, it's nice to see you here. Question mark, are you finding while losing weight, you're more in touch with feelings left over from the Church Scientology? When I lost weight, I found a ton of feelings my eating was hiding. To be honest with you, no. I mean, for me personally, I'm glad that happened for you, but that hasn't had anything to do with it. The only thing that it made me realize is that, a lot of people talk about, oh, you just need to diet and exercise. You're going to lose weight. Diet, exercise, weight. Well, there's another factor that science has proven is that there's genetics involved. Okay. Your family genetics, everybody's different, right? Everybody reacts to the medication that I'm taking different. There are some side effects, but for me, it's worked wonders. But I come from a large family. My father was large. My brother's large, all that. So just by losing the weight and dealing with the genetic makeup in my body through this medication, I'm learning that, there is another reason as to why some people gain weight. Now, other people, as you probably know, have a high metabolism. I knew people that could eat whatever they wanted to and they never gained any weight. It's all genetics as far as I'm concerned. And it's making me feel better. It's giving me more energy. I'm more active without 50-pound bag of potatoes carrying around anymore. I'm more active and I'm going to continue to get more active. So thanks for that question. All right, next question, Peter Anderson. Your thoughts on the child escape event last Sunday at the PAC base? I don't know anything about this. This is the first I've heard of it. How about you, Janice?
I don't know anything. That I was in Miami and I haven't caught up on things, so I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Peter. We don't know anything about that. So if anybody has any information, go ahead and get in the chat and mention it. That would be fine. We've got another question here from Terry Ray. Hey, Terry Ray, how you doing? Hope you and your husband are great. Question, I'm coming to Las Vegas in March. If you don't have an appetite, will you and Janice still go to dinner with me and Philip? Of course.
Yeah.
I still have to eat. I just eat like an appetizer or something when I go to a restaurant. I just can't eat like the big meal that I had with you guys at Blueberry Hill.
Yeah, no, I'd love to see you guys again. That'll be fun.
Absolutely. And to any of our other viewers, if you come into Las Vegas, just shoot us an email, and if we have time, we'll get together with you. It's not a problem. Janice and I are just, we're retired. Now Janice has a ton of stuff that she's doing, but, I'm retired, so we can always make time to come and see everybody there. Hey, Janice, update on Elizabeth. How's she doing? Your granddaughter, Mooney, Rocky, Moose, how they all doing?
Oh, they're all doing good. Mooney had a rough summer and
that's her horse, by the way.
My horse, yeah. We put an evap in her corral so that she could get cooled off because she couldn't deal with the heat, and she just froze there. Anyway, I then had to start walking her and bringing her back to life, and they even had to sedate her and pump electrolytes into her. It was pretty drastic, but she pulled through, and I rode her yesterday, and she's doing great. And then yeah, and then my boys are good. That's Rocky. Uh-oh.
What happened here? Sorry.
What happened to me?
I know, I'm trying to put you back in. I clicked on something and you went away. Are you still there?
Okay. I'm here.
I don't know what happened.
Max, can you even hear me?
I can hear you. Only,
you can hear me.
Only though. Audio only though. Janice, can you go out
okay.
real quick? Go out.
Yeah, I'll leave the studio.
I'll keep talking while you do that, okay? Sorry about that, everybody. Just be 1 second. We're having a little glitch here. And then hopefully she'll be coming back in here. Still waiting, still waiting. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next thing real quick while she comes back in. Hold on. Here she is. Now she's back. Sorry.
Yes, Mark's just trying to be the star of this show and take all the credit.
No, it's the BTs are attacking, Janice. They were making you disappear.
Oh, is that what it is?
Or either that or OSA.
Or yeah, that's acceptable. I'll take that.
All right. Well, what I was trying to say is that we have another product we just wanted to mention. Janice's daughter, Erin, has the Oracle CBD salve. So if you're interested in the CBD salve, it's really great for sore muscles and joints and that type of thing. Right, Janice?
Yeah, I actually have trouble with my left knee. And when it aches, I just put that stuff on and the pain goes away and I can fall asleep. I rave about it. I think it's a great product.
Absolutely. Well, she wanted to mention that she's got a special going, Oracle CBD salve, a 15% discount. The promo code is November 15, all one word, and it's good until November 28th. So if you want to reorder some of the Oracle salve, you can do that. Just go to her website, which is right here, www.healedbyoracle.com. And then the promo code is November 15, and that's good until November 28th. So anybody that wants to order Erin's CBD salve, that's how you do it. And it's a good little discount there.
Yeah. Mark, did you see that OSA has admitted to they
had nothing to do.
Dogs. Yeah, not with dropping me off, but they interpolated the dogs to get them all barking and making a racket while I was trying to talk.
Well, there you go. That's the answer to the question in terms of what was going on. So thank you for admitting that. You won't be assigned liability, Office of Special Affairs. So anyway, we are at the end of our show here. Janice has got to go to a dinner engagement, but we want to thank everybody for being here. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel, hit that notification and like button. It really helps us out. We really want to thank you all for being here. Also, if you have any questions or comments we didn't get a chance to answer, just ask them down below. We read them and we will answer them for you. And then if you'd like to support the channel, you can buy us a coffee. There's a link in the description. And then, like I said, don't forget the discounts on the CBD salve with the promo code November 15. And then all the connection merchandise, there's a 10% discount on our merchandise store, on all our merchandise until Christmas. So 10% off everything. The promo code is Christmas. There's a link in the description for anybody that wants to order that stuff. Janice, is there anything else you would like to say before we end off this video?
No, it's been fun. I've enjoyed it. So thank you for joining us and asking questions.
Yeah, and we've got some great videos coming up. We've scheduled, now that Janice is back, several people that you have not heard from before, and some repeat people. And then, like I said, I've got those 2 shows that I'm going to be doing about setting up the LRH spaces and LRH communication lines. And we're also, I had no idea, but at some point we're going to do a video with Janice about the Guardian's Office takeover by Commodore's Messenger org. I had no idea that she was involved in that. And so she told me that the other day, and I went, we got to do a show on that. I think people would be interested in why the Guardian's Office and how that happened, got taken down by the Commodore's messengers.
Okay.
Anyway, until next time, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.